everybody, welcome back to Learning at the Farm with the Simply Country Ranch. I've got my friend Mariah here today. We're going to be sharing all of the donkey facts with you. Let's go have some fun. Donkeys love treats. We have carrots here today, so we've cut the carrots up, and when you're feeding a donkey, you want to have your hand flat out there. So they will use their teeth to attach the treat and pull it off of your hands. So they might mistake a fingers or two, and we don't want that to happen. So when they go to eat the treat, we want to make sure your hand is nice and flat when you're giving them their treat. So let's watch what that looks like. Good job. And then there you go. So my hand is nice and flat. Perfect. Oh, yes. These guys love treats, so they will definitely get really excited. And you can see that they're using their big, long ears. Okay, Henry, you're going to knock over the camera. They use their big, long ears to show emotion and expression. Mariah, is there any tips or tricks that we can know about these ears?
Well, like her ears right now pinned back because she's getting kind of a little bit mean with the other ones. But when they got their ears forward, it kind of like means they're showing like they're aware of everything. They notice everything going on. Pinned back ears, usually you can tell that they don't feel good or they don't like something. They're just annoyed.
Got it. Okay, it kind of means like they put their ears back, and they usually put their head down to maybe even chase out a predator that might be in their area, or they are telling their neighbor donkeys like, hey, 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 get out of here. There you go. But you can see they use their ears and they turn them side to side also to know where the sound is coming from. So you can see their ears flick away different types of maybe flies that might be near them. And so they definitely have a lot of expression when you see them go side to side.
Now we're going to talk about colors on donkeys. Most donkeys you see like this, like with the stripes and stuff down the side. And then you got other donkeys that are like spotted like this. They're a little bit cute too. And then you got your darker ones that are like this one.
This one's Caroline. And they have a mane, just like horses do, and it sticks pretty straight up. And they do have their tail. It's not quite as long as a horse's tail, but they definitely use that to keep flies and dirt away from their bodies.
So these donkeys are mini donkeys. They stay from like 36 inches and shorter. And then you have your standard size donkeys. They're 36 inches and 48. And then you've got your bigger donkeys, your large breed donkeys that are like the mammoths. They're like 56 inches.
Donkeys are really personable animals, so they have best friends. When we have got our mini donkeys, the ones that are really close together is going to be Henry and Caroline. They love to be together. If you see them out in the pasture, those two are usually partnered up. They get along really well. And we've got these other two donkeys right here. We've got Phoebe and Fiona. Those two came together and they love to stay together as well. And then we have our painted donkeys. This one's Amelia. And then Fiona is on the other side trying to get some more treats from Winston and Charlie in the back of the side-by-side. And those two ladies, they love to hang out together as well. In a pasture, they do love to have a friend near them so they don't get lonely. And they're a pack animal, so they will go ahead and travel together, and they love to live together. So a lot of animals do like to be in a group that helps them keep companionship as well as keep themselves safe. So then that way you might notice that when we have our group of donkeys and I look out into the pasture and watch them, one of them is always kind of watching to see if there is a predator nearby, and so that they can warn their other companions.
Donkeys are also used as guard type animals for sheep and goats, because they'll keep away like anything like foxes, coyotes, anything that's a predator towards other animals. With donkey's ears, you can also, they use them as a source to keep them cooled down, besides like using them as a way of showing their emotions and stuff. But the ears will keep them cooled down if they get overheated, so the ears make a good thing for them.
This is Amelia, and when we got Amelia, she was not in the best health shape. So this is called a rescue donkey when we received her, because she wasn't as well taken care of as she could have been. And this is because I can know this when she had a very bad cough, we had to take her, as well as her hooves. You can see her hooves are a little bit turned out. They're a lot longer. It's like a fingernail. Excuse me. And their fingernails, or their hooves, started to grow really, really long, as opposed to my friend Phoebe over here. Her hooves are a little bit shorter. They don't turn at all. They're just straight down below on the ground, where this little one, she did just get a hoof trimming, but you can see that they are a little bit longer and they kind of curl out or curl under. So Henry's is looking great because they're straight down below him. So that hoof care is very important. Just like horses, they have to get cut every ever so often, maybe once to twice a year whenever they're needed. And the hoof care allows it so that they can walk appropriately. So this little gal, Amelia, when we first got her, she didn't walk very well until we were able to get her hoofs taken care of. And now she's doing a lot better. Another care for animals is to making sure that your animal is healthy is based off of their necks. So Amelia, she has what's considered to be called a fat pad. And this is the section of her mane that is pretty thick. So I'm trying to put my hand over the neck of her, and you can even see that it has a little bit of a bump right here. And this is because maybe Amelia might have been fed more than she needed to at her other home, and then when we have got her, it has caused, sorry Amelia, caused a larger part of her neck. Where we've got Phoebe, she doesn't have that. So I can test her neck by putting my whole hand around it, and I'm feeling, and it's nice and thin. And so I know that Amelia is getting enough to eat, but not too much to making it so that she's unhealthy. We want donkeys to be long and lean, and not be unhealthy to where Amelia, she's got some extra padding in the corners, which makes it a little bit harder for her to walk around. Donkeys are great at maintaining what type of food they eat. They will definitely overeat. That's why they love, love, love treats so much. Isn't that right? So we do have to make sure that we're giving them the right type of food for their bodies. They're considered to be a desert animal, which means that they do great at finding the nutrients in the ground, whether it would be having a lot of grass or not a lot of grass. They are able to pull out just exactly what their body needs. But if they're not getting a lot of exercise and they're asked to stay in one area at one time, they can start to overeat, and that's not very healthy for these little guys, because you can definitely see that it shows. This is my friend. She's also a rescue donkey that we got with the other painted, and you can see her neck kind of wobbles back and forth. So we want to make sure that she's getting healthy. So we're kind of maintaining what she's eating, giving her lots of exercise. So they have a big pasture that they live out here. And we're making sure that these guys are healthy. They see a vet when needed, especially if they have a cough. That's important to know that they need to go see a vet, and they might need some antibiotics.
So for a donkey's gestation pregnancy, they are usually pregnant from 11 to 14 months. And then baby donkeys, their actual name are foals, just like horses. They're about the same. Your male donkeys that can breed, they are your studs, basically.
Or a jack.
Or a jack. And then your female donkeys, they are your mares that have had babies and stuff.
Or a Jenny.
Or a Jenny.
Perfect.
And a male donkey that cannot provide babies and stuff, they are called a gelding, just like horses. So just about the same with horses. They run with names. So
donkeys truly do live up to their name of being stubborn. They have that nickname of being a very stubborn animal because they're very, very strong and hard-headed. So when you are working and training a donkey, you can do best with treats and building a relationship with them, and that way they can go ahead and work with you, and they're more willing to walk to the areas you would like to and be halter trained, so that you can lead them to different areas, because otherwise, if they're pretty stubborn, they're not going to want to be able to move.